right now on 5 on your side at 10.
The breeze is still blowing tonight, and it's increasingly gusty into Thursday when the showers move in and the timing of the chilly change after they move out.
A horrific highway crash leaves a teenage driver dead and 2 others injured.
I won't ever see my son again.
Tonight, the questions a grieving mom has about the car her son was driving. First tonight, water worries in St. Charles, now leading to a court battle.
I'm out of options.
The legal eagles the city has tapped to go after Ameren. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush, and Allred has the night off. The city of St. Charles plans to sue Ameren, Missouri. This comes after the EPA found the electric company responsible for contamination near the city's well field. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski joins us now to explain what this all means going forward. Laura.
Mike, the mayor of St. Charles says not only do they want contamination cleaned up, they want Ameren to pay for everything the city's had to do in the meantime. Ameren says they are trying to work with the city.
The reason I'm here is I'm out of options.
St. Charles Mayor Dan Borgmeyer says the city has hired 2 law firms to take on a lawsuit they plan to file against Ameren. Former Governor Jay Nixon is one of the attorneys on the case.
We've been retained to deal with state law damage claims. Not the CERCLA side, the state law damage claims, and to hold Ameren accountable.
Mayor Borgmeyer wouldn't go into dollar amounts, but so far the city has been using the Emergency Water Fund to deal with the extra expense of additional water from St. Louis and other measures instead of putting it on the customers.
We have spent a great deal of money on our efforts to keep our drinking water safe, and now we are currently in the process of spending even more to put into place the treatment components at our water facility necessary to treat the water that Ameren has been found by the EPA to have contaminated.
An Ameren, Missouri spokesperson gave 5 on your side a letter they sent to the city detailing their plan and timeline to make it happen, saying in part the city's proposed additional work to build a carbon filtration system for the city's drinking water treatment plant would serve no environmental or public health purpose other than potentially to provide a level of protection for other contaminants that are unrelated to Ameren. Ameren says it would not be beneficial to move the well field, and the remediation work will reach EPA standards.
In my opinion, it's effectively impossible to have drinking water devoid of all chemicals.
The letter also asked for coordination and input from the city. Water advocate Kara Elms says it appears that collaboration isn't happening.
And I'd like these access issues solved. I mean, really, it needs to be negotiated, and Ameren needs to be allowed on their property.
The mayor did not give a timeline for when this lawsuit will be filed, saying there is a lot to sift through. The EPA said the first step of cleanup is supposed to be done at the end of this month. Mike.
Laura, thanks. A breezy night across St. Louis after a mild day, but big changes arrive tomorrow. Let's get over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who's tracking storms and a big cool down.
You know, we hit 60 degrees today, Mike. We'll certainly take it. Tomorrow we'll be close, but we have showers on the way, some rumbles of thunder perhaps heading into tomorrow evening. Right now, though, since the breeze picked up this afternoon and it's keeping things stirred up, most of us are still in the upper 40s to lower 50s. You find the cooler temperatures farther east of St. Louis along the Interstate 57 corridor. Just thickening clouds right now. Our storm system back to the west as it tracks eastbound. Well, it's going to bring some active weather. The breeze continues to pick up. Showers arriving tomorrow, most likely between 7 and 10 in the morning, and then you'll see them off and on through the afternoon. Gusty winds will continue not only overnight, not only tomorrow and into Friday, but right into the first half of the weekend, and it turns much colder Friday into the weekend. We're talking about that hard freeze and how much rain will be in your rain gauge come Friday morning.
New tonight, we've learned more about a teenager who died in a single car crash overnight on Interstate 70 in North St. Louis. 2 other teens were injured. Just a few hours ago, our Robert Townsend spoke with the young driver's mother. Robert is live near O'Fallon Park tonight.
Isaac Harper was a student at Vashon High School. His mom is struggling with the tragic loss of her son.
Barely making it. Barely standing. at this time.
You can see the shock in Kiana Howard's eyes and hear the sadness in her voice. The mom gripped with grief after learning her 17-year-old son, Isaac Harper, was killed in a single car crash on I-70 near Cary Avenue.
Just seen him yesterday, under 24 hours. Now he's gone.
Harper was a junior at Vashon High School and one of 5 kids. His family says early Wednesday morning, his 17-year-old girlfriend and his 17-year-old buddy were riding in his buddy's Infiniti M35 when it crashed. They say initially Isaac's friend was driving, but the boys swapped seats and Isaac ended up behind the wheel at the time of the crash.
Another friend of his stated that the car might have had some malfunctions of, I guess, picking up speed and slowing down with speed. So I'm not sure. I want to know what happened, what went on.
Police say Harper traveled at a high rate of speed. They say the teen was changing lanes when he lost control of the car, hit the center median and a pole. The car split into pieces. Police say the 3 teens were thrown from the car.
To see him, talk to him, hold him, touch him, scream at him, it's over. I just miss my son. I won't be able to see him again.
Tonight, Harper's girlfriend and friend remain in the hospital. Right now, investigators with accident reconstruction are still looking into the crash. Live in North City, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
New information tonight about the shooting that left one Herman police officer dead and another injured. Today, the suspect, Kenneth Lee Simpson, pleaded not guilty to murder and other charges in Gasconade County Court. Newly released court documents reveal Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith and Officer Adam Sullentrump were called to the Casey's gas station on Highway 19 Sunday night for an irate customer. After learning Simpson had several felony warrants, they tried to place him under arrest. That's when Simpson pulled out a gun and fired several rounds. Sergeant Griffith was taken to the Herman Area District Hospital where he was pronounced dead. He will be laid to rest this weekend. Funeral services will be held Sunday at Owensville High School in Gasconade County. A visitation will take place from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The funeral starts at 2. Officer Sullentrump was seriously injured in that shooting. Tonight, he continues to be treated at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur, where he remains in critical condition. There are several ways you can help the families of both Sergeant Griffith and Officer Sullentrump. For that information, just text the word HELP to 314-425-5355. Tonight, we're learning more about St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's response to Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey's legal motion to remove her from office. Bailey argues Gardner is neglecting her duties, but she says even if that's true, he has to prove it's intentional. Gardner's legal team filed 3 motions, one asking a judge to dismiss the case, another asked for more time to turn over documents, and a third responds to allegations against her. Bailey faces an uphill battle. A legal expert we talked with says removing prosecutors is rare and the bar is high.
All the cases where this has happened and people have been ousted have been people involved in criminal activity. They were gambling, they were bootlegging, they were in organized crime.
You can read more about Gardner's motions on KSDK.com. Tonight, Attorney General Bailey responded in a statement saying his office remains committed to its assertion that Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner is not doing her job to protect the people of the city of St. Louis, and they're moving as expeditiously as possible to hold her accountable, restore the rule of law, and find justice for the people of St. Louis. A moment of honor and recognition for nearly 24 St. Louis police officers. It's been nearly 7 months since a gunman opened fire inside Central VPA High School. And new tonight, Brent Solomon shows us how the business community is praising police for their quick action.
Well, when there's an active shooter situation, there's no time to wait. Officers spring into action because it's their job. Tonight, one group is saying we don't thank them enough.
Over at Columbia Auto Repair on the Hill.
Anytime we call the police, they're always here.
The owner has a great relationship with St. Louis police. In fact, He heads the 2nd District Police Business Association, bringing all kinds of businesses together.
Restaurants, convenience stores.
To back the men and women in blue.
To do something for them for what they've done for us.
It's why his group is taking a painful look back at the deadly school shooting at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School last October.
The police response time was so fast.
He recalls a police captain just beginning his shift.
He was not even in uniform yet, just came in to go to work, had his t-shirt on, went down there, first one on the scene.
Wednesday, the association took a moment to recognize the 22 police officers who responded to the school, getting victims out and securing the scene.
I have never experienced the fear and terror that I saw in all these children and all these teachers' eyes in my life. I'm an old man. I've seen a lot of things.
Alderman Joe Vollmer was there and nearly choked up.
When you go to work in the morning, you know, you say goodbye, honey, I love you, to your kids, but you're not wearing a bulletproof vest. You know, you're not carrying a gun on your side. You're going to an office. And, you know, these people are going above and beyond just for us.
They went in, got the shooter, and took care of whatever needed to be done. These officers do stuff day in and day out, and nobody ever recognizes them at all.
Today, the police department said on social media, quote, "We are proud of the officers being honored, as well as each and every officer who serve our community every day," end quote. The 2nd District Police Business Association meets once a month, strengthening those relationships with police.
Parents forked out money for the Ultimate Play Fort, helping a local Kickstarter raise millions.
I mean, it's useless to him.
Tonight, the building list of complaints from customers. Masks off. The changes you'll notice at your next doctor's appointment.
In about 12 hours from now, the rain chances start ramping up in the St. Louis area. How much rain we expect and when the gusty winds whip in colder temperatures.
A warning tonight from health officials in Illinois. Strep throat is becoming more deadly. 2 children in central Illinois have died from the infection in the past month. The Illinois Department of Public Health is urging parents, especially those with children with underlying conditions, to get tested if they're showing strep symptoms. Those symptoms include fever, pain while swallowing, and red and swollen tonsils. Tonight, the masks are off at 2 of the area's largest hospital networks. Starting today, face masks are optional at Mercy and SSM health hospitals and clinics. Masking requirements went into effect 3 years ago at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. People showing symptoms of respiratory illness are still asked to mask up. St. Louis's largest Kickstarter campaign on record raked in millions of dollars, along with thousands of complaints. Tonight, we've learned Missouri's Attorney General has decided not to pursue action against the man behind Get the Fort. Thousands of backers wanted the magnet-based forts during the pandemic. As our Michelle Lee discovered, some of those customers are still waiting for their items nearly 2 years later.
Hi.
It was supposed to be a toy that would give parents a break during the pandemic.
My name is Connor Lewis from St. Louis, Missouri, and I am the founder of Fort.
A magnetic foam system made to save the couch and parents' sanity.
To build the ultimate pillow fort.
The Kickstarter campaign called it Kid Magic.
Yay, science!
Though many parents say it feels more like a trick.
Of course, it was a new business, so I was expecting to have to be patient with him.
Elizabeth Gentili was one of 9,000 plus backers of the Kickstarter and saw the toy as an investment for her son, who has a learning difference.
I had a 4-year-old that loved to climb and loved to build forts. So instead of taking my chairs and my covers and my cushions, why not buy something, 12 foam blocks that, can do the same thing for him.
She even paid more money to get her fort delivered sooner.
He said if we paid an extra $99, we could have it before Christmas of 2021. Well, I did pay the extra $99, but I did not receive my fort before Christmas. It did come shortly after. Then after unboxing it, I noticed that the magnets did not work.
She's now out more than $450. Magnets were the key selling point, the glue that made this particular fort special.
Why aren't you using Velcro like everybody else?
Because we ran a lot of surveys and parents unanimously hate Velcro.
Connor Lewis found himself in trouble, which is perhaps why he went on Shark Tank to ask for an investment. His Kickstarter sold too many forts under value, meaning Connor was in the red.
And I've found myself like staring at the numbers and being like, oh, this is bad.
It's a thing.
I'm assuming you've burnt a lot of cash.
Yeah, incredible.
How much?
Basically all of it.
All of it.
You're selling yourself out of business.
Right now, Get the Fort does have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau, and that's because of the volume of the complaints that we've received.
From failing to provide replacement parts to issuing refunds to overall customer service, the Better Business Bureau even sent out a warning advising people to avoid doing business with the fort and reminding people to take caution while supporting any crowdfunding.
I mean, it's useless to him.
Elizabeth just wants the situation to be made right. It's not just about her losing $450. It's about how $3 million seems to have gone unaccounted.
It's just going to take time, and I need to be patient. Well, in turn, he ghosted us. He ghosted me. He ghosted many of women. And here we are 2 years later with a lot of foam sitting in our house.
Michelle Lee, 5 on Your Side.
Now, Michelle did reach out to Connor Lewis and went to the address listed on his business. Someone at the door told her that Mr. Lewis would reach out when he's ready. You can learn more about the Missouri Attorney General's decision not to pursue action against Lewis on KSDK.com. All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us with this changing Weather First forecast.
You know, it was a really nice start to the day this morning.
Yeah.
Bill had this picture he shared with us on our 5 on Your Side Weather Watchers page. And you could see in St. Francis County, lots of sunshine. It was that way for most of us, but Bill questioning where spring had gone, as we've had some pretty cold mornings and there's more ahead. But this is how the day ended, as the clouds were rolling in across the area. No rain out of any of these clouds, but they definitely are lowering and thickening, and the breeze is picking up across the area tonight. It is going to continue to stick with us as we head through the next couple of days, really into the first half of the weekend. Clouds are with us right now. We managed to get to 58 degrees for the high temperature today in St. Louis. Our low temperature this morning was 28, so we made quite a bit of progress there. Nowhere near the records, though. Right now in St. Louis, 49 degrees. It's still relatively mild because of that breeze. Breeze is pretty gusty, air's pretty dry. That means no rain reaching the ground out of any of these clouds right now, but the clouds will lower and thicker. Temperatures will mostly stay in the 40s for the overnight hours. And yes, the breeze is going to stick with us tonight. It gets even gustier tomorrow and heading into Friday. Here's our weather system making inroads now from California into Arizona and New Mexico, the Four Corners region. This is going to be pulling out. That's where the main energy is right now, north and west of Phoenix. They have some thunderstorms in that area. Tomorrow, the storms down in southern portions of Oklahoma, northern Texas. It's where the severe weather is more likely. We don't have severe weather. In fact, rainfall amounts looking now like they'll be around 1/3 of an inch. That's down a little bit, as not everybody sees all that much rainfall. Early in the morning, mostly dry. The rain's to our west, but as we head towards 10, 11 o'clock into noon, scattered showers breaking out. Those showers, and we're going to put that back into motion again, those showers will continue through the evening hours, and Futurecast shows that there's not a lot of tremendously heavy rain. Perhaps as we get towards 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, the rain chances will ramp up. That's when we could have a little bit of a thunder situation. Nothing severe, just rumbles, because we're ahead of that cold front. Once the cold front goes through, temperatures go down. We'll see any precip ending, even though it might end as a little bit of wet snow. There's not going to be anything that can possibly stick, but what does stick with us will be the cold temperatures. Wind chills struggling to get back above 30 degrees as we head through your St. Patrick's Day. Temperatures will rebound to around 40 or so by the afternoon as the sun comes back, but it is cold and blustery. And look at the Battlehawks tailgating. You're doing that from noon to 5 o'clock ahead of that 6 o'clock game. Temperatures in the 30s, still breezy. There's still a little bit of a breeze when City SC takes the pitch at 7:30 on Saturday night. At least when you're walking to the Blues game at the Enterprise Center on Sunday, it won't be as windy, but it still will be chilly, only near 40 for the high. Next week, temperatures will warm up. We're dry this weekend. Brighter day is Sunday, but cold mornings. Low 20s, even some upper teens in spots.
Wow.
Early on Sunday morning.
All right. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike will have it all for you shortly. Previews of Mizzou and Illinois, the Blues involved in a wild one, the Cardinals were in action, and City SC at the Magic House. Stay with us.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
The Blues hosted the Wild tonight, and it just feels weird. Last year, the Blues were 27 games over 500. This year, they are 3 games under 500. If this is a one-year aberration, we can all live with it. Jordan Binnington was good early. Watch him snag the shot from Ryan Hartman right there. 4 minutes later, Pavel Buchnevich, who's really been good all season long, will poke one in for the first goal of the game right there. Later, Jacob Vrana scores 2 goals in 3 minutes. However, in the second, the Wild scored 3 in 2 minutes. Right now, the Wild lead it 5-4 in the second period. So if you would like to call in sick tomorrow, you have my endorsement. Come on, it's day 1 of the NCAA tourney. It's a holy day of obligation. It should be pizza, wings, and maybe 1 adult beverage. Mizzou will play in the tourney for the first time in 3 years. It's a 12:40 matchup against Utah State. Dennis Gates and the Tigers worked out this afternoon in Sacramento. While most of the team has never been to the big dance before, they're trying to be the ones to end a 13-year drought. Their last tournament win was back in 2010, beating Clemson in the opening round.
It's really important. We came 2 years ago and we lost to Oklahoma in the first round. One of my dreams was to win a game in the NCAA tournament, even from a child. Well, really to be here, and then now it's to win a game, obviously, and win the whole thing. It'll be big, especially for our fan base back home. They will really look forward to that, and we've done so much this year. We might as well keep it going.
Illinois will also tip off tomorrow. They will face Arkansas at 3:30 in Des Moines. Coach Brad Underwood has gotten back to the tournament despite an overhaul of the roster. He said his squad is prepared because of the rugged Big Ten schedule, but they won't see a Big Ten type team in Eric Musselman's athletic Razorbacks.
The familiarity is now completely different. We're in the NCAA tournament, and it's a new team. It's a different team. It's a different style. It's a different name we don't hear every time we turn on a TV, and there's, I think, this sense of excitement with that.
Cardinals and Mets in Port St. Lucie, and Dylan Carlson delivers an RBI double. Cards win at 4-1. The outfield decision will be interesting. Carlson, Jordan Walker, and 2 guys who've done really well in the WBC, Tyler O'Neill and Lars Nootbaar.
I'm not necessarily selling myself on thinking that the World Baseball Classic is a high watermark for some of these players, especially when you're facing inferior pitching. So I think we have to see what they're doing against good pitching, i.e. Dylan Carlson having to deal with a guy like Justin Verlander today. I mean, those are the guys you're going to see on a regular basis. You're not going to see anybody representing Great Britain or Canada down the road is going to be in the big leagues.
The World Baseball Classic, Yadier Molina managing Puerto Rico against the Dominican Republic. Johnny Cueto on the mound and Christian Vasquez at the plate, and it's gone. You talk about some baseball passion in one stadium tonight. Wow, Puerto Rico wins it 5-2. The Magic House and St. Louis City SC have teamed up to create a new soccer-themed exhibit designed to help children learn the game and imagine themselves as part of the team. They even have a soccer simulator and locker rooms that mimic the ones at City Park.
Bring a product and an exhibit like this that connects to everyone. It brings a health and exercise standpoint as well. So in terms of mobility and functionality, I think the Magic House and they've done a great job.
And that will do it in sports. Mike, back to you.
All right, Frank, thanks. Well, rollover Labradors, the new top dog in the U.S., and how St. Louis is bucking the trend. Well, there's a new top dog. The American Kennel Club says the French Bulldog has unseated the Labrador Retriever as the most popular breed in the U.S. Labs held that spot for the last 31 years. But in St. Louis, the Lab remains the top breed of choice, followed by Golden Retriever, French Bulldog, German Shepherd, and Bulldog. Friday is St. Patrick's Day, and 5 on Your Side will be in Dogtown for the Ancient Order of Hibernians Parade. You can look for our 5+ live bus in Storm Tracker, and if you can't make it down, we're going to stream the parade live on 5+. It's free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. And Scott has a final check of the weather.
Yeah, if you're going to the parade early and setting up even early on Friday morning, you know, it'll be the dancing leprechaun because it's the shivering leprechaun. Windy and cold. We will see skies clearing. The temperatures are dropping to around 30, around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Wind chills will be around 20. It will slowly moderate during the afternoon, but it's going to be a blustery cold one for sure.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Jimmy's guests tonight, Keira Knightley and Zachary Levi. Start your day with Today in St. Louis. We'll see you tomorrow.